It's Thursday. It's the 18th of November, 2021. Today's podcast brought to you by Chugwater Chili, the gourmet spice of Western life. Go to chugwaterchili.com. Great holiday discounts all during the month of November. And this week, discounts are 33% off at Chugwater Chili swag, t-shirts, hats, aprons, and more. Go to chugwaterchili.com. Breezy and not as cold today. It was pretty darn cold last night. We had a lot of areas in the single digits and lower teens, one of our colder nights this fall. The temperatures are going to be moderating, but that does mean breezy areas. Rule of thumb in the cold season. When it gets warmer in the cold season, it gets windy. When it gets colder, it gets less windy. So, nice not to have the wind right now, but it will pick up again, especially in the wind-prone areas. We'll talk a little bit about the lunar eclipse tonight and the cloud forecast for that. Mountain snow showers arrive late Friday through early Saturday with a few snow showers in the plains as another quick-moving Pacific front comes through late Friday into Saturday, mainly a mountain event, but a few snow showers in the plains. Now, we're starting to get a little bit more clarity on the long-range forecast for the busy travel period coming up next week. One thing it does look like we're very confident about is that if you're going to start your travels for Thanksgiving early, well, Sunday through Tuesday right now do look good. However, confidence is growing that a bit of a larger weather system could impact travel late Tuesday through Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, with some snow chances and turning colder by then. We'll take a quick look at that, and we'll have a lot more detail for you tomorrow. Here's your satellite photo. You can see at the moment a fair amount of clear skies with some high clouds over the Intermountain West right now, but you can see a swirl of clouds with another low coming into the Pacific Northwest. This bringing a nice area of rain showers and mountain snow again to the northwest areas of the United States. It's this shield of cloudiness, high-level cloudiness, that is headed this way. Unfortunately, the timing isn't really good because the partial lunar eclipse taking place tonight is going to have to coincide, I'm afraid to say, with some mid and high-level cloudiness. But as you take a look, a little after midnight through a little bit before 4 a.m. is when you're going to want to get outside and get a glimpse of the lunar eclipse. I think there's a real good opportunity you could catch a glimpse. The problem is you're going to have to play tag with the clouds. As the cloudiness is certainly going to be there, will it be continuous cloud cover? Probably not. So there's going to be some breaks. So you still might be able to get a good photo and see the lunar eclipse. It's just not going to be a clear night, I'm afraid to say. As you can see, most of North America and almost all of the United States going to be able to see it tonight. So a really good opportunity, as these don't happen very often, especially one that lasts this long. The numbers that you see here are cloud top temperatures, so ignore those numbers there. But what I'm showing you is a prediction of what the cloudiness would look like as we go on to about midnight tonight. This is roughly midnight tonight. So you can see over Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, the region, we have a fair amount of mid and high level clouds, but you see the lighter shaded areas here? This is where there's going to be some breaks in the clouds. Now keep in mind, everything will be moving. This is not to be viewed as a static image, but one that goes over time. So there is going to be, in this whole region, a fair amount of mid and high level clouds. We just got to get lucky and catch some breaks. Now this is for 3 hours later. So this is around the beginning of the eclipse, and this is at the end of the eclipse. One thing that we definitely see here are wave clouds along the Colorado Front Range in southeastern Wyoming. These wave clouds could really put a damper on the lunar eclipse. But there's always breaks in the clouds. There always seems to be a glimpse here and there that you can get. As we take a look at the upper level pattern, the 500 millibar chart, or where we are at 18,000 feet, shows generally a mild west to east flow, classic La Nina, west to east zonal flow we call it. This is one reason why it gets windy as the winds line up perpendicular to the mountains. But this is going to keep our temperatures relatively mild. This little guy right here is what's going to come in as we get into Friday night and Saturday morning. There it is. So as you can see, it doesn't become a really big amplified pattern, but it will take moisture that's going to be in the form of rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest and slide it through the Rockies Friday night into Saturday morning. And the end result is going to be some moisture. This is the forecasted precipitation through Sunday afternoon. You can see the Pacific Northwest continues to get wet, as well as Northern California. You can see that the central mountains of Colorado, the mountains of Wyoming, the northern mountains of Utah should get a bit of snow out of this. Not a lot, with just a little bit of shower activity on the plains. Again, once you get east of the divide, the downsloping Chinook winds just dry out the air and you're just not going to get as much. Snowfall-wise, it looks like this. So there's going to be a little snow in the mountains. The Tetons, the Yellowstone Plateau will do well as the mountains of Idaho and back here into the Cascades. As we go forward, let's take a look what happens early next week. Early next week, this is for Monday, we have a high-pressure ridge. This is why travel weather in this region Sunday into Monday and Tuesday looks good with this high-pressure ridge building on in. We have a pretty good low swinging through the Great Lakes and another pocket of really cold air up in the Gulf of Alaska, and then a pocket of really, really cold air up here. We'll talk about that cold air up north here in a bit. But here is the next wave that's going to be coming in as we get into late Tuesday night and into Wednesday. And here it is. This is by Wednesday afternoon. It's not a very well-formed storm. We've kind of got two areas of low pressure. This guy may take over and be stronger than this one as we go and take a look at the week weather next week. But it doesn't look like a big storm, but it may create just enough weather to be a nuisance for traveling in the region late Tuesday night, Wednesday into Thursday morning. You can see this is the precipitation forecasted by it. Look at eastern Colorado, even New Mexico. We're getting a little more snow on the plains now with this system. So while this does not show the signs of a big classic Thanksgiving storm, we've certainly had them in the past, it does look like it may produce a little bit of winter weather in that Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Stay tuned. We may end up seeing more snow on the map going forward in the next few days as compared to what we're showing now. But I would, if you're traveling, middle to the end of next week, plan on at least some weather to contend with. These are temperatures relative to average during Thanksgiving Day. So you can see colder air is pouring out of Canada and into along and even a little bit west of the Continental Divide. So temperatures by Thanksgiving, especially east of the divide, are going to be trending colder. Now I want to talk about what we've been talking about over the last couple of days, and that is the Greenland Block. Here's Greenland right here, and here's a big ridge of high pressure. Notice this is for next Friday, the 26th of November, the day after Thanksgiving. What you get in these blocking patterns is you get the weather pattern stuck. The jet stream becomes stuck because this low here amplifies this high and this high amplifies this low. We call this an omega block. It happens to be centered near the Greenland area and across the North Atlantic. This makes Europe cold. This makes North America cold as the jet stream gets into a logjam. This logjam tends to concentrate extremes. This happens in La Niñas. This happened last winter and last summer. You get blocking patterns where you get one area that's extremely cold, one area that's extremely warm, at least relative to 30-year averages. These blocking patterns can be really stubborn and concentrate extremes in one area. That's why they're always a concern. That's why La Niñas, especially strong La Niñas, tend to cause a lot of problems in terms of Arctic outbreaks and also heat waves. No mystery there why those Arctic outbreaks and heat waves happens during La Niñas. Look at all the blue back here. There is a tremendous amount of cold in the northern latitudes right now, and it's showing a very large area of very cold air building. Now, you'd expect that to happen. It's the second half of November. We're going into a winter season. Those northern latitudes should be icy and cold and snowy, and they certainly are. However, even relative to normals, the air up there is really, really cold this time of year. And in the eastern Siberian Sea, this has been happening. In fact, a news report came out from Arctic Today. Icebreakers are on the route to rescue up to 20 ships in the East Siberian Sea because of rapid ice formation there. That's just an indication of what's happening in those higher latitudes. And I continue to bring up that cold because we continue to see signals in the long term that that Greenland block, that blocking pattern up here in the Atlantic, is going to eventually start to direct the cold air into North America. This is for Friday, December 3rd. And basically what we have, if this ends up being correct, we have high pressure forming in the East Pacific, and then the door is open. The door is open to Canada for all of the United States east of the Sierra Nevada to see the cold intrusions start to come on in. So we'll give a question mark here, but I tell you, our confidence is growing of much colder weather in early December across a good part of Canada, the United States. We'll see what transpires, but certainly the writing is on the wall. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll see you on Friday.